we're getting to a stage that we really have to be careful about this tribal relations and ethnic baiting. If we're not careful, we might be repeating mistakes of our forefathers. And when I say that, when you think of how we were colonized in the first place, how colonization started in 1861, where they played two brother kings against each other to invade and colonize Lagos. Now again, it seems Lagos might be up for another recolonization if we're not careful. Some people are promoting rancor between Yorubas and Igbos. We know there are some politicians who want to really go back to the Akintola kind of days in 1964, where it was they tell Igbos to call Toro and chase them away. Now we've been seeing this happening in Lagos elections, but at the rate it's going, it's getting into very feverish proportions. Both the politicians especially, are the ones promoting this rancor and hatred. And over, like when they talked about the Obi of Lagos, which generally I saw as nothing because the title does not exist. So how would somebody with a non-existing title come and put on 1.5 billion? And even if it does, who are behind this? Because not only Yorubas, you also have a lot of Igbos making statements that provoke. And the thing is, these people, both Yorubas and Igbos, these ethnic bigots, might be playing to scripts that are even greater than whether you are from Peter Obi or you are from Tinubu. There is also that thing is that if we're not careful, if we allow ethnic attacks to happen, it might be a way for the West to recolonize us like they used Akitoye and Dosumu to fight each other. Let's assume there's an attack which around 2027 coming as they're provoking it. If it happens that there's ethnic violence, and let's even assume that 100 people or 200 people were killed, the West will jump into it, they will shout, inflate it, maybe say there are 200,000 people dead, and they will land peace troops in Lagos and cutting it off. And there are some people who have said that they want to turn Lagos into a Hong Kong or a Taiwan, an island where they can produce and feed the whole West African coast and the East African, the Atlantic coast of Central Africa. We have to be very careful that we are not provoked to destroy the prosperity of Lagos, of Yoruba land. It's one of the most, if not the most prosperous land in Africa. And not everybody is pleased. People want to take over. Also, and you wonder that this Yoruba-Igbo thing, it was created. In the first place, there is no difference between Yoruba-Igbo and these groups. There were a continuum of dialects. They all came from Ife. And you could see how, even within Yoruba land, you see Isenyi or your language melts into Ibadan, into Ife, into Ekiti, into Egba, into Edo into Igbo. It was in 1861 when they now decided to start writing the Bible in those languages. Now look at this. One person wrote the Yoruba Bible, and that same person was the one who wrote the first Igbo dictionary. Now he realized at that point in time that these were just dialects of each other, but he used different rules to make them look distant or unrelated. In Igbo you have Omo, they will say Omonna, Umonna. He saw that Omo, which is child, is O-M-O. But when he wrote the Igbo, he wrote U-M-U. Same thing as Oka. We have so many places called Oka. We have O with a dot, K-A. In Igbo land, he wrote it A-W-K-A. So they created this division, which really and truly did not exist before, since they were one civilization. All the Obis in Igbo land were the Oduduwa crown. What stopped that progression was the slavery period, where they attacked the heartland of Igbo land and make them spread southwards. After colonization, even though they were taken as one southern protectorate, they divided Yoruba and Igbos and then started making us fight. And that, if we're not careful, will lead to our recolonization if we go violent. I'm not saying that, yes, we shouldn't be concerned about people taking land and that, but one thing I've always said, the first thing we even have to do in Yoruba land is to make sure that our education and our communication is in Yoruba. So any black person that comes here will be reabsorbed into that. And one of the reasons why we don't fully understand that we're related was that our template, our civilization was based on Ifa, Afa, Efa. That's everything about us. All these stories you want to know about Yoruba's origin, the epistem is Ifa. Everything you want to know about Igbos is in Afa. Anything you want to know about Ngala is Fa. It's the same 16, but they broke them up and turned them against each other. This is what we have to, and this is what we are contending with. Because another thing is that because of our knowledge bank, we had Orishas who are philosophical essences or spiritual essences. And that's why African Americans call us that it's an African spiritual science. These Orishas have timing. We know, we link them to planets. So for example, when we look at Faloye, for example, he creates the structure, but we know it's a 29-year structure. And if you see what's happened in our structure, you have in 1964, you had when Akitola tried to overwhelm, uniting with the North and removing Oni of Ife as the governor and jailing Awolowo. Afanifere came together with the Igbos to form a group to challenge the undemocratic, xenophobic rulership in Western region. That was 29 years. Now, after that, if you calculate 29 years from 1964, you come to 1993. Then you had Abiola, and then again, once again, Afenifere and the conscious Yorubas united with some Igbos to challenge it. Now, we now get another 29 years to that. You now get to 2022, where Afenifere also now came together with South and Middle Belt to bring and to do the right thing, which at that time was that it was a turn of Southeast. But the way things are going and the way we are looking at it, it's very scary. Now, there's another trend which is very important for us to understand, which is Olokun. When you look at Olokun's circle, it's 165 years. Now, 165 years ago, what we had was colonization. Now, that circle is finished, and we have to look and be very certain of what happens in 2026 and 2027. Also, apart from the colonization, you also had the Ijaye War, which, if you see, that same Oyo-Alaafin Atiba problem, you can now see it again with the Alaafin saying that, oh, he's basically challenging the core of our civilization. We have to be very, very careful and understand that these things are coming up. Before that 1861, if you take 165 years, you realize how Oyo came down and became a major slaving nation from 1690. Take that out, take another 165. So the point is this: if you do the math, you will understand something is happening, and we have to be cautious. I'm not saying that we should become like say Momo, no, but do not let us be provoked where we lose what we have.